Brilliant Creatures.
I'm Stephen.
I'm Gail.
And let's have a look at what's coming up on today's show. How can an otter raise loads of cash for charity in just 60 seconds? Find out in a few moments.
And if you're thinking of getting a pet, but you're a bit short on space and time, we might just have the perfect creature for you.
We travel to South Africa to meet an incredible man who loves lions from the smallest to the biggest. And Gail gets a nasty shock.
Got you.
And there are two featherless animals that can both take to the air. It's all coming up in today's show.
Have a look at these three works of art. Now, have you got any idea at all what they might have in common? I'll bet you'd find it hard to believe if I told you that they were all painted by elephants. It's absolutely true. Elephants painted all of these. Now, they're sold to raise money for elephant charities abroad. And the elephant holds the paintbrush in its trunk, and his trunk is so sensitive, he can control the movement of the paint on the canvas.
But this piece of art is the work of a totally different brilliant creature that's owned by this lady here called Daphne, and her brilliant creature is the otter that she's called Belinda. Now, of course, the otter doesn't have a trunk like an elephant and doesn't have opposable thumbs like we do. So how does the otter paint? Well, it's all down to these ice cubes. Now, you've got two other otters, haven't you?
Yes, we have three otters all together. They all love ice cubes. They all like water in any form, and they'll stand under the tap in the kitchen playing with the dripping water tap. So to play with ice cubes is real play for them.
Excellent. Well, listen, we've set something up here. We're going to try it out. We've got the canvas here, we've got the paint, we've got the ice cubes, everything that Belinda loves. So let's find out if she really can paint. Let's give it a go.
Okay.
Let's put her down.
Come on.
Come on, Belinda.
Come on, Belinda. See if I put her little paws in the paint.
Yeah.
There. Look.
Oh, look already.
Look. Come on, Belinda, look.
Oh.
Come on, Belinda.
Come on. Come on.
Good girl.
Over this
Yes.
side.
And I
Here
put
she
some
comes.
seashells.
Oh, look. Here she goes again.
There you
Bit
are.
more blue.
Come on.
Have a bit of green.
Have a bit of
I
green.
like green.
Belinda. Yes, come on, Belinda. Have some green. Come on. Come on.
See, maybe she's only going for the blue painting
Well,
today.
maybe it's her blue period. Come on.
Does she know what she's painting?
Come on, sweetheart. That's it. Oh, look, there she is. She's painting away. That's a good girl. I think she's got no idea what she's painting. But she has got an extremely good eyesight, and I think she'll admire it later. Take off your shoe, Stephen, and put it on the painting, and she'll play with the laces. You see, she wants to play with the laces now. She's got bored with painting.
Well, the thing is, I need me shoes.
You need your shoes.
So how do you know she's finished?
Linda, I think she has finished, actually.
But it's a minimal piece of art.
A minimal piece
Absolutely. So let's have a quick look at this. Let's see how she's done. Because I'm going to tell you something in a second that you are not going to believe. Look at this, right? What do you think? OK? That's just been painted by an otter down. It might not be your cup of tea, but this sells for £300. That's true, isn't it, Daphne?
Yes, it is.
£300. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, oh, boy. And all the money that's made goes to otter charities around the world to help the otters out. Daphne, thank you so much for coming in. And thank you, Belinda, as well. £300 in 60 seconds. It's utterly brilliant.
Throughout this series of Brilliant Creatures, we've been taking a look at some of the animals that people keep as pets. Well, so far we've looked at puppies, rats and even snakes.
So most of the creatures we've looked at need a lot of time, money and space. But today we've got a selection of brilliant creatures that don't need a lot of attention, don't cost a lot and only need about this much space to live in. First up, it's the ants.
Now, a starter kit like this one won't cost you very much at all and contains everything you need to get you going, except the ants, which you can send off for, or you could go into your garden and just round them up. Now, if you don't feel like one is enough, you can connect two or even more together, just like we have here, and then you've got your very own ant metropolis.
And once you've bought the kit, you just sit back and observe some of the most fascinating creatures alive.
Now, the colony will soon be a hive of activity, and you'll be able to watch them building tunnels, burrowing, and just going about their daily business in full view.
Now, have a look at this setup over here. Now, it might be quite tricky to see this brilliant creature, but trust me, it is there. Have a little look. Can you see it? It's about 20 centimetres long, so it should be quite easy to spot. Well, just in case you haven't, let me show you where it is. It's just here, and it is a stick insect.
Look at that.
This is unbelievable. Let's get it off. There it is. Look at that.
It looks just like a stick. You can get them in pet shops, and they come in various shapes and sizes and colours, and they don't cost much, and they're really easy to keep.
They need a warmish room and they eat mostly bramble, blackberry and eucalyptus leaves, and they actually drink the water off the leaves. So each day, just spray your leaves like that. Or you could get a bowl with a mesh cover on the top, place that in the corner of the tank. That will cause humidity and your pet will be happy.
Now, a tarantula makes a very cool pet if you're not scared of them, but they can be quite tricky to handle. Can you see that they're covered in those really fine hairs? Well, they fire them when they feel distressed, and if it gets onto your skin, it'll cause a bit of irritation, but if it gets into your eyes, which is why I'm holding it so far away, you'll be in real trouble. They've also got a really nasty bite on them, which is a bit like a bad bee sting. So if you do get a tarantula, just be careful when you're handling it.
The upside of having one is that they don't take up too much room, but you do need to feed them live crickets, and that does turn a lot of people off. The other thing is it will be around for quite a while because they live for over 10 years.
Now, come and have a look at this. If you come down one morning and find this has happened, don't freak out too much. Your pet hasn't cloned itself, it's just molted.
The ultimate low-maintenance pet is one of these. A giant African land snail. I tell you what, you won't find one of these in your back garden. It does feel really slimy as well. Now, to look after them, what you need to do is give them a bit of old cabbage and a bit of pet shop cuttlefish each day, and that will keep their shells nice and healthy. And you'll have a happy snail.
But don't expect too much in return because they're not exactly the most responsive of pets. You can't train them and they don't purr.
They also leave a horrible slimy trail as they travel about.
Ugh. Now, finally, how about this? For a very interesting low-maintenance pet, these are Chinese oak silk moth caterpillars. Can you see them in there, the little yellow ones? Now, you can buy these over the internet, and they're so easy to keep because all they need is a case about this size and some oak and beech leaves to munch on. And then you can just watch them turn from caterpillars like this into chrysalis.
Into these beautiful adult moths just here. They are lovely, aren't they? Now, they don't have any mouth parts, which means you don't have to feed or water them. The downside is they only live for a couple of days. Now, beware, if you do get a non-native species of moth, do not release it into the wild. It is illegal and you will be fined £5,000. That's a lot of money.
It is. Now, with a bit of imagination and a little bit of space, you could try your hand at keeping loads of different brilliant creatures and you're bound to find the perfect pet for you.
Now, for more information, why don't you go to the Brilliant Creatures website? Here you'll find loads of links to other great web pages and get lots of information on looking after all of those pets. We're here in South Africa to meet a most amazing man called Ed Hern. Ed Hern has his very own wildlife reserve. 40 years ago, he gave up life in the city to follow his dream, which is this: 400 square kilometres of African bush, filled with the most amazing assortment of brilliant creatures.
There are hundreds of African animals on Ed's reserve because Ed feels passionately about protecting the wildlife in his homeland.
Hundreds of animals mean lots of babies. Some of the babies, like these lion cubs, are hand-reared in special enclosures, but it wasn't always like that.
Where did you used to hand-rear them?
We used to hand-rear them in the house itself, where I live.
In your home?
In the home, yes.
I can't imagine having lion cubs all around your house. Did they wreck the place?
Well, most people can't imagine that, and they did wreck the place.
Hang on, that's my bag. See, how do I get him away, Ed? I know we're here and we're stroking them and all that sort of stuff, but people don't realise how dangerous they are today.
Of course, I mean, look at the nails. If it scratches you, it's going to hurt you. And I mean, it's not only the nails. I mean, look at the teeth also. Without a shadow of doubt, they can. We drive around regularly. Stop,
Whoa,
careful.
whoa. Cheap.
Catch him.
You see
Careful.
now?
Now it'll start to bite.
Oh, you! Are you right?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I tell you what, it's just, it's not that it hurts or anything, it's just suddenly you feel slightly out of control and it's not going to stop if you ask it to. Ed's really keen to reintroduce animals that are native to this part of Africa into the game reserve. He's been really successful with warthogs and also got a fantastic breeding programme with these wild dogs, which you can see over there in the grass. They're absolutely just amazing creatures. They're about to get their dinner. Look, they're going to like this in the end. Are these wild dogs endangered?
They are indeed serious, girl. There's in the Kruger National Park, which is one of South Africa's more well-known parks, there's only about 200 wild dogs left.
So it is very special to see them here.
I would have thought so, yes.
Out of all the animals in the park, Ed has one favourite.
Yes, he does, and we're going to see them right now. So, Ed, lions are a lot of people's real favourite, but why are they your particular favourite?
Well, they're not being called the king of the beast for nothing, but one thing in common, and that is a big, big heart. It'll take on an elephant if needs be. It's got the heart to go with it.
Can you hear them?
On Ed's reserve, as well as the usual tawny lions, he also has some extremely rare white lions.
The white lions are extremely rare in the world. We're aware of about 150 white lions. But in South Africa itself, there's about 65 white lions that we're aware of.
White lions mean white cubs. You just never believe it, would you?
What we want to do is we want to create the biggest pride of white lions in South Africa.
Wow.
Well, this place is run by my two sons.
Oh,
So
family
it
business.
is a family business, yes. And apart from them, there's a fairly big staff.
Would the completion of your dream be to know that it was going to be handed down through the generations and that your great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren would still be here?
Listen, that would be a dream.
Do you know, I could sit here all day. It's just amazing, isn't it? How does it make you feel, Ed, when you look over that and you survey your kingdom?
Well, it is a humbling feeling. It's been a lifetime's work, and obviously it's an ambition that came true in the end.
previous programme, we were able to show you the fantastic flying capabilities of this brilliant creature. He's a sugar glider. Now, incredibly, they can fly up to 50 metres throughout the air, but we weren't able to show you that far in the studio because it's not big enough. But we could show you a little taster. Have a look at this. Where are you?
Wow! Did you see that? That is unbelievable, isn't it? Oh, boy. Today we have another brilliant creature in the studio that can take to the air, and again, it's not the feathered sort. It's in here. It is the flying frog. Now, these agile amphibians live in the trees of the rainforests of Malaysia and Borneo, and although they're only 5 centimetres long, they can travel up to 20 metres. That's hundreds of times the length of their own body.
Now, these little frogs have flaps of skin between their toes, which gives them these enormous webbed feet, so that when they take to the air, they spread out their toes, and the webbing catches the air and slows their descent.
And because they live in the forest, they've got these specially developed pads on their toes. You can see them just there. And these actually allow them to grip onto upright surfaces as they land.
Now, we're going to see if our little froggy friend will give us a demonstration of his fantastic flying capabilities. Are you ready, Stephen?
I am so ready. Come on.
I hope so. Woo!
Yeah!
Oh, don't tell him.
He's done it. Oh. He's OK, I
think he proved it. I tell you what, in the forest, he can get around the trees so fast, but the main advantage is he's got the edge over all the other frogs when it comes to catching flying insects.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Well, that's it for today's show.
Now, if you want any information on anything that you've seen, why don't you check out our website? The address is on the screen now.
And we'll see you next time for some more of the world's most brilliant creatures.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.